Hey, everybody. Welcome to episode 3 of the Between the Rallies podcast. I'm your host, Kyle. I hope everybody had an awesome holiday season and Happy New Year. We are in 2026 now, first episode of the year. This holiday was a little rough for me. It was my first Christmas away from my kids. So shout out to all you single moms and dads out there. I understand how rough that is. But luckily I had some pickleball to keep me grounded, play a ton of pickleball. Also had a awesome girlfriend that I could hang out with her and her family to kind of, help with being away from my kids over the holidays. But overall, it was a great holiday. Drop in the comments. I'd love to hear what kind of pickleball gear you guys got for Christmas. If you got anything super cool, drop it in the comments. Let's see what you got. I did not get anything pickleball related for presents. I did get some cold weather running gear, which I was super stoked on. So, but Boise's winter has been really mild. I haven't really needed to wear a bunch of cold weather gear, but I think it's going to turn a corner. It's going to get cold here, and that cold weather gear is going to come in handy. So, again, thank you all for your support. We were able to run a 1,000 subscriber giveaway already. We gave out 3 locos to 3 lucky winners. Seriously appreciate all the support. It's been amazing. So let's get right into it. In the bag, what have I been playing this week? So I've been seeing some buzz about a paddle on Discord, and they were saying how hot it was, and there was kind of some jokes about it. And I almost didn't even realize that the brand had already sent me this paddle, the Aireo Cyclone. So I got some hands-on experience with that this week. Foam core, 16 millimeter thickness, elongated shape. First thing I noticed about this paddle, though, it came extremely light, 7.6 ounces. Those that know me, I typically play at least in the 9s, typically closer to 9.5. So I played it stock first, and it was okay. It wasn't my favorite. Very hollow sounding. It's got that hollow foam feel to it. But then I weighted it up, and the way I weighted this thing up was I went basically 4 inches of tuning tape at 4 1/8, and then a 22 gram reflex weight from Flick Weight. And these reflex weights, everybody knows I'm a huge lover of Slice. And again, Slice is beautiful, well machined, but these reflex butt caps from Flick Weight are insane. So basically what it is a weighted butt cap that's just silicone that you can just pull up over your paddle, over grip around it, and you're good to go. So honestly, if you switch paddles a lot, that's definitely the way to go. So once I added weight, this thing's sitting right around 9 ounces now, and it hits absolute missiles. I was scoring off my serve a bunch. I was able to hit some big, heavy drives. The spin was great. Very high-end power. This is up there with the Loco, the Boomstick. This thing absolutely blasts balls. It's a super fun to play with. Probably not the best for my game, but a lot of fun. I'm going to do kind of a first impressions review video, so stick around for that. I will post that probably in the next coming weeks, but definitely worth checking out. I have a code, DinkSmash. It'll save you some money and support the channel. But if you're looking for a very high-powered paddle that's under $200, definitely worth a look. They only have the one color, so the blue is what you get. But again, if you get this, expect to weight it up, and it's a bazooka. It's a hand cannon. It's great. A lot of fun. And still in the bag, but now with the reflex weight butt cap as well as the reflex weight band. So Flick Weight has not only the silicone butt cap that you can just pull over, but they have weighted bands too. So I've got a 6 gram band, the 22 gram reflex weight butt cap, my U-Drip and Grip, and then I also decided to try some head weight. So I got 2 inches of the 1 gram per inch at each corner on my Enhanced Duo wide body, and this thing is playing amazing. I went to the 4.0 open play the other night called Buds and Brews at Flying Pickle, and me and my partner went 38 points straight on the challenge court. This thing is a player's paddle. I am doing my first first impressions / review video on this paddle. That should be released within the week. Again, this is definitely a super solid paddle to check out. Power wise, less than the Aireo Cyclone. This has a much more dense foam feel. Again, it's a foam paddle. I've talked about it. Their core is a little bit different. They do that almost like tongue and groove type on the edge versus the actual EVA ring. It's like slotted in. They called it like the ridge core. It's super cool. And it has a big sweet spot. Definitely worth checking out. But yeah, stay tuned. I will actually be posting a video probably this week with some of my first impressions and some extra gameplay. Resets are great. The power level's good. It's not top end, but it's definitely not low. I don't ever feel like it's lacking power. But the forgiveness on this wide body is insane. Can't say enough about this paddle. I love it. Around the net. So if anybody's been watching any news, 2026 seems to be the year of musical sponsors. Everybody is leaving everybody. Brands are not renewing contracts. Players are not renewing their contracts by choice, and vice versa. So a big one is we saw Dekel Bar leave Yola. And I speculated on this. Never did I, on my radar was 11.624, but Dekel Bar goes to 11.624. This is awesome. And I'm usually pretty against, I say that the ROI is not there for a pro. This is a little different. 11.624 is a very small, I say small brand. It's a very big brand in the enthusiast world, but on a global scale, it's a smaller brand. I think Dekel going to 11.624 is a huge deal because this is going to bring a lot of visibility to that brand in a broader scope. So I do think the ROI is here with Dekel Bar. I'm very excited to see him, and he's playing the new foam paddle they have. I haven't got my hands on it yet. David said I'll get one soon. But for him to feel confident enough to leave Yola to 11.624, I'm sure it's going to be a great paddle. Another one we saw leave, this is pretty sad, was we saw Thomas Wilson and Vivian David leave Carbon. They've been with Carbon for so long. Thomas Wilson struggling with his health issues, and he hasn't been playing much on the pro scene. We've heard him commentating, and Vivian David's been partner hopping. So I don't know the story there on whether they chose to leave or if Carbon didn't renew their contract, but we'll see what happens there. Nothing's been announced. QD leaves Cyphic, which is pretty wild considering he essentially killed his PPA contract by violating some rules and going over and playing with Cyphic and doing the clinics and stuff like that. Supposedly, his dad said it was over a $500,000 deal. I don't think he was over there more than 6 months, and he's already gone from that brand. I can only assume maybe they didn't think they were getting their money's worth, or maybe he's chasing the dollar again. We'll see. It hasn't been announced. There is rumors that he's going back to the PPA. Nothing's been confirmed yet. We'll have to pay attention to that. ALW and Paddletech, she's removed off the Paddletech website. We don't see any announcement like goodbye Paddletech. There's a video showing that Franklin had a paddle approved that is in the same shape as ALW's paddle. So the rumor is she's going to Franklin, as well as there was a rumor she had a photo shoot with Franklin. So we think ALW could be going to Franklin. That's a huge deal. If she ends up at Franklin, that roster's absolutely stacked with Hayden and Paris and the Johnsons and ALW. So I don't know if we're going to have to see some of those pros get let go to afford ALW. I can only imagine that her contract is massive, but we'll see. Going to have to stay tuned for that. I foresee that announcement coming very soon. All of these sponsor announcements are for sure going to come out before or timed with the Masters. And another thing in the pro world is we see Paris Todd gets fined. So we saw the PPA let go James Ignatowicz, Ryan Fu, and Vivian Glosman due to going over to Japan and doing those clinics and advertising as PPA pros and whatnot. That violated their contract. PPA let them go. But they didn't let Paris Todd go. They fined her $50,000 and 2-event suspension. They're saying she will miss 1 PPA event and 1 MLP event. I feel like that might have been a little unfair. Paris Todd definitely brings a lot more eyes to the PPA than those others that were mentioned, but I don't feel like it was fair across the board. They are saying that she informed them, but not totally informed them of what she was doing over there. Like there was some context left out. Again, I don't know those details, but I do feel like the punishment should have been applied across the board, which with that new, the rules committee and stuff, hopefully this year we'll see more concrete. You do this is your punishment. We need some of that. A little better, a little more transparency. That's all I have for Around the Net. We got the Masters coming up. That'll be exciting to see what pros are playing with who. We see some new partnerships, and we're going to see a ton of new paddles being used. So we will have to watch and see, who ends up where. All right, mail call. Silver Delta Sig. Is it better to have a partner who enhances your strengths or covers your weaknesses? I love this question. And I think this can vary. Again, I know that answer sucks. It depends. But let's say your third shot drops weak, but your partner is 90%. Like they're great at third shots, and your strength is, causing chaos, approaching the net aggressively, applying pressure. Honestly, if you have a partner that makes up for your weakness as far as like a third shot drop, that would be better than having somebody that's, has the same strength as you, because then you can let them take the thirds, you apply the pressure. And I think it can be huge to have a partner that makes up for your shortfalls there. I do think there is cases where like both of you being strong obviously would play good, but I think most of the time I would want a partner that covers my weaknesses and I cover their weaknesses. I kind of think about this like business partners. Like you don't want a business partner that's good at the same stuff as you. You want somebody that can do something you can't. I kind of feel it's the same way with a partner on the pickleball court. I want somebody that can do something that I can't really well, because then I think together we make a more complete game and a more complete team. So that's how I think on that topic. All right, concealed damage, training and workout tips to be better at pickleball. So I am a big fan of CrossFit, but that being said, I'm a fan of any high intensity workout that gets you running, sprinting, jumping, just getting better at overall fitness. I think that applies to the pickleball court immensely, and it's better than just bro lifting, just hitting the bench, hitting the squats. I do think you need some variability in your workouts. And then the last question is from M Sumner 03. What is the best overgrip? So I am a big fan and always have been a big fan of U-Drippin's overgrips. I currently use the Freaky Tax. I do have some Pro Tax coming from Bodie, so I'm very excited to use that and see how those play. But honestly, my favorite is U-Drippin. All right, let's get into the final section, smash or pass. Gen 3 construction paddles in 2026. How do I feel about this? I'm a hard pass. I am 1,000% team foam right now. I am looking forward to seeing some more innovation around foam. We've seen so much cool stuff with foam already. The EVA ring with the EPP center, the holes through it with carbon, the half holes through it with enhance, and the ridge core. There's just been the dice core from Pickleball Apes. There's already been so many iterations of foam in such a short period of time that I'm just super excited that I want to see what else we can do. Will there be a new core material in 2026? That's definitely a possibility, but we'll have to wait and see. For me, Gen 3 is out. Gen 4 is in. I don't think we'll see maybe we'll see a Gen 5, but personally, I think we're going to mainly see different variations and iterations of foam technology, maybe some different kinds of foam. We'll see, but Gen 3 construction, hard pass from me. Now, we're seeing a lot of talk, all court movement. Have we reached that upper echelon of power? nobody wants power paddles anymore. I don't think that's totally true, but I do think we will see more all-court paddles this year, mainly because we're finding out that with foam, you don't have to give up that control to get that power. Like we saw with Gen 3, like the more power you had, you were sacrificing control. That has kind of gone away. You're able to get good power with good control. That enhanced duo being a perfect example. The power's great. It's not top end, but it's definitely not low end. And it has great control and it's super forgiving. The boomstick, very powerful paddle, has a very large sweet spot for a power paddle. We used to have tiny sweet spots on our power paddles. So I do think we're going to see more all-court paddles. All-court paddles are probably better for your game for the most part. Not everybody needs hand cannons, but hand cannons are fun. So I am a smash on the all-court movement of 2026. Again, thank you guys so much for sticking with me. Episode 3. This is going to conclude episode 3. If you found any value in this episode, please share the podcast, tell a friend about it, like, subscribe, leave a comment, tell me I suck, that's fine, whatever. I'm great at taking criticism. As you can see, my set's changing. It's going to keep changing till it gets to what I feel is a professional look. I have some very cool guests lined up. I'm very excited. Little hints at that. I got pickleballs in prison coming up. I have some adaptive athletes playing pickleball coming up. And I'm looking for some more cool community guests. If you guys have anybody that you think would be cool to be highlighted in this kind of podcast, I would love it. Again, I apologize about episode 2 with the audio. That won't happen again. It's already been fixed. Got new mics. So thank you for sticking with me. I hope you guys have a great week. Get out there and play some pickleball. Until then, I'll catch you guys between the rallies.